what it is? It's time for Sunday afternoon Bible story time. And it's me here, and my name is Chesley, and this is Karen. That's right, Chesley, we're so glad to be here. Every Sunday afternoon we get to do this. Oh, I'd like to get out of that trunk, and I'd like to tell these kids about Jesus. That's right, and telling about in the Old Testament we have some great stories, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Oh, I like this story. It's a good one. I wish I could have done those spies. Oh, you want to be the two spies? Well, we're getting ahead of things here. First, you need to, I need to sing the theme song. This gospel train is chugging at the train. Chugging at the train, it's chugging at the drink. This gospel train is chugging at the drink. Chugging to the glory land. That's what it's doing, Chesley. And gonna see Jesus. Gonna see Jesus. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Gonna see Jesus. Yes, I am. Up in the glory land. Oh, get on board this gospel train. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Get on board this gospel train. Yes, you can. This gospel train is down to the glory land. That's right, Chesley, bound for the glory land. And it's wonderful to be able to be on that train, love the Lord, and serve Him. And you know, can anyone do it? That's right, Chesley. It's welcome to anybody. Doesn't matter what country. Doesn't matter if you're a boy or girl, man, woman, teenager. Doesn't matter. And so the Lord just, He loves all the people. He loves all of them. All the people. Yes, Chesley. He loves all of us. He cares about us, and He's got a wonderful plan. And it means you get to go to live in heaven with Him if you serve Him. That's right, if you love Him and serve Him. Now, if you don't love Him here, you know, you wouldn't be happy in heaven if you don't love the Lord. Because it's a place where it's just nothing about God and Jesus, and you know, it's His Son and the Holy Spirit. It's just going to be a great time. Oh, well, I'm just a wooden kid, so I won't get there. But Chesley, you know, you're not a real person. That you know, I can still act like one. That's right, you can still act like one, and I'm glad that you do. You know, one time I used to be a tree. I know years ago in Minnesota you were a tree, but right now you're here. And you are a ventriloquist figure, and you're helping me. And we're going to tell God's word. And so it's from the book of Joshua. The book of Joshua. Actually, the verse, some of the verses, the initial ones I want to talk about was in chapter 2. But this story goes on to chapter 3, 4, 5, and 6. But anyway, we won't be doing all of that. I tell you, I tell you what, this gets kind of scary. That's right, it can get kind of scary. But the title of it is, Saved by the Red Rope. Saved by the red rope. Oh, I wonder what this is about. Well, Chesley, we're going to see what it's about. It's one of the most interesting stories in the Bible. I love this story. You know, okay, so here we go. So what is it now? So, well, Egypt, you know, was a place of bondage that's where God's people had been. And they had been in bondage for 400 years. And now they're going to get to come out. And, well, they had come out, and God had wonderfully performed a miracle of this sea parting of the Red Sea. Oh, I don't know how that happened, Chesley. It was a miracle of God. He just made the waters just roll back on either side. And the thing, you're going to get stuck in the nut. Oh, Chesley, the Lord just dried that out. It was just made, and the wind was blowing, and it just dried it out. And here the Israelites went to safety. Oh, it was a miracle. And I think word did spread, Chesley. In fact, I to this place in their journey as they left out, there was many more things. you need trouble and think much trouble was ahead, but you know, the Lord had delivered them and He'd let them out. He had gotten them out by this wonderful miracle. And He done some more. Oh, He did some more before they got out of Egypt's bondage. Oh, He showed how strong He was. You know, I knew one thing He showed. What did He show, Chesley? That He was great and greater than their idols. They trusted in their idols, Chesley, and it just didn't pay to trust in idols because they can't do anything. That's right, they're just useless. They can't do anything. But here is what happened, you know, Chesley, as they were set free and all, but there was many dangers that were going to be ahead. And God, He's going to do true. He's going to do, yes, but you know, Chesley, many times they would complain and fuss, and they just felt like God wasn't doing, I know, they said He wasn't doing it quick enough. Chesley, we have to operate on God's timetable. And He knows what's next. And you know, He loves all people. He loves all the people. And He was reaching out to those people as they was going through their lands. And some of them, they just didn't like Him. That's right. They didn't like Him. And they weren't going to help them. So He would fight them. God would give them the victory. But now here they were coming along, and there was a city there. There was also there was the Jordan River. They were here. They'd been traveling and traveling, but they'd run into this. You know, they'd be wicked kings. Oh, those wicked kings, and didn't like it. They'd come out and fight and have a war. That's right. They wanted to have a war, and so this is what they were having to deal with time after time. You know what? Each time they won a victory, it was God. Each time, and so what happened? You know, they didn't know that word was traveling ahead of them, and you know what? I think they wasn't trusting God. You know, the Israelites, many of them, the Jewish people, were not trusting God. And even though I don't understand it, he did all those great miracles. What's wrong with those people? Well, Chesley, it just, sometimes, you know, we let our head get in the way, and we just, our thinking and our mind, I don't know how this can be. And you know what I think they were thinking? Oh, what were they thinking? I think that they was thinking that sometime we're going to get caught. You know, so that was a lack of faith and trust in God. And he had told them that he would take them to victory. And so I don't think they was really trusting, because they thought they just keep coming. We just keep having one battle after another. But you know, Chesley, as long as we're here in this life, you know, it's going to be battles. It is going to be battles, but you know, there's going to, I know the answer to that. Well, what is the answer to that? God will give the victory. God will give the victory. That's right. So here is what happened when they had come come along, and they knew as they were traveling along, and so they had a new leader, Joshua. He didn't know it. It had been Moses, and now he was gone, and now it was Joshua's who the Lord had chosen, and Moses had trained him. Moses had trained him, and he was ready. Now I know what this, he was full of faith. He was full of faith, and the Lord had told him he was going to help him, and he gave him some things to do. He said, check ahead. There's going to be that large city there. A large city. Oh, I know what that means. I know what you're thinking. It's going to be a great battle. It was a very dangerous city. It was huge and had gigantic walls. And so he said, I want to you are to send a couple of spies. You know, and I tell you what, that's a dangerous thing. That, you know, I wish I could have done one. Well, Chesley was probably very exciting, but it was very dangerous. And you know what I think happened? What do you think happened? I think they prayed. I think they prayed, and no doubt the priests gathered around and prayed. The families, they prayed for them. But these young fellows had trust and faith in God, and so here they went to Jericho. You know what? They're going to look different. They're going to look different. They're probably got a different accent. They don't sound the same. And, you know, they recognized immediately that they went to the home of this lady. Her name was Rahab, and when they got there, she took them in, and you know what? I think she saw, these guys are crooks. I don't know. That's not how the Bible reads. Somehow she recognized that these fellows were different, and she'd heard of the miracles. Oh, she heard of the miracles of God, and now she's starting to connect it. She says, these fellows, I want to take care of them. That's right. She decided, I don't think these are bad guys. She said, I'm looking at what the miracles that God has done. And so, you know what? She put her faith and trust in God. She did put her faith and trust in God, and she protected those men, because here came word that you've got some people there, and they are not, they're from all those people, you know, that great big army that's come, you know, those great victories, and I'd be looking at that, and you know something, I think she is doing the right thing. You know, Chesley, she took care of them, she hid them so they couldn't find those fellas. You know, God wonderfully blessed her. This woman had faith. Here is what she said. And I want to read Rahab's statement of faith. Can I see it? Can I read it? Well, Chesley, let's just see here what it says. She said, I know that the Lord has given you the land. That's a statement of faith. As she had faith and trust in their God. She said, I know that the Lord has given you the land, and that the terror of you has fallen on us, and that all the inhabitants of the land have melted away before you. For we have heard how the Lord, and he's the one true God. We have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea before you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to the two kings of the Amorites who beyond the Jordan had come out against them, and to Sihon, Agon, whom you utterly destroyed. When we heard it, our hearts melted, and no courage remained in any man any longer because of you. And then she said this, for the Lord your God, he is God in heaven, above and on earth beneath. That's right, Chesley. She had it right. She recognized the truth here, and she made her statement of faith and trust and confidence in God. You know something? I think they didn't like her saying that. Well, now I tell you, the spies loved hearing this, but I think her own people said, I don't think you should trust. I don't think you should trust. You know, they might kill you, and all of those things. They were saying we're in grave danger because they've been getting all these victories. And you know, and they were saying there's just one thing between us in that Jordan River, the Jordan River. But they knew how the Lord had parted the waters at the Red Sea, and so they lived in fear. But this lady lived in faith. She had faith and trust, and she said, and when she said to them, how that for the Lord your God, He is God in heaven above and on earth beneath. She knew He was God. And even though she was considered a very wicked woman, I tell you what, she was getting things right. She had it right. She realized the one true God that she had never known. She'd never heard of Him. Now here's somebody that is serving the one true God. Well, I'll tell you what, times went by, and here as they went along, and it come to that they did cross the Jordan River, and just God miraculously, He just had it standing up on both sides, and they walked across. I don't know how it happened. Well, Chesley was because the Lord had told him. Joshua said to the people, consecrate yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you. And Joshua spoke to the priests, saying, take up the ark of the covenant and cross over ahead of the people. So they took up the ark of the covenant and went ahead of the people. Chesley, that ark, it represented the presence of God. Oh, I get it. And so what happened, you know, it's kind of scary. And it was kind of scary. And you know, the Bible says that the Jordan was out of its banks. You know something I know about that? It was loud and noisy, and the water crashing and thing. And that's right. It was so loud and noisy and scary. I wouldn't have done it. I'd have turned around and said, not me, get someone else. But Chesley, what wouldn't you want to see what God did? He's been so faithful. That was the thing, God had proven His faithfulness. And so what happened when they just dipped their toe in the water? That's when suddenly the water just rolled back. They just stood up on either side, and they walked right through. Oh, I think it was just a miracle of God. Yes, I do. Oh, you know something else? What? Well, I think it scared those people over there in that Jericho. That's what the people in Jericho said. But you know what? It was another word of faith for this woman, Rahab. She said, see, God is with them. I know He's the one true God. Oh, I tell you what, and you know what, did you know, there's this one part of the story that's really good. Yes, Chesley, while they were, when those spies were there, and she was saying, I know God is the one true God. Give me some kind of a promise that I will not be destroyed. I know the Lord is going to give you Jericho, but I believe in the one true God. And they said, yes. Here's what it would be. He said, when we come back, when we come to Jericho, he said, if you will have this red cord. What is good is a red cord? Well, Chesley, that was going to be the sign. It was really not just like we'd say a little cord. It was what we would call a rope. It was because she was letting these fellas down by a rope. Now, where she got the red rope, she probably dyed it, and they possibly had the red rope they gave to her. But they said, if you'll have this hanging in the window, that was going to be the sign. That was a sign. Said, if you will be honorable like you have been, you've been true, and you've been honest with you've not, see, she hadn't told who they were. She had hidden them, in fact. And so, and what about her family? And that's what they said. She said, my family said yes. If they had faith like she did, you know what I think she was doing? I think she was telling the story. She was telling God. I think she was too. She was telling her family, this is the only place that's going to be saved. Is here. It's right here. You have to be in the house with me. And she had a house, was right there, and here it was on the walls. They had huge, thick walls, and here she had a house in a wall. And said if they was in there, they'd be safe. But if the ones that said, oh, we don't believe that stuff, we're going to go find our own hiding place. No, she said, you have to be here. And said, here is this scarlet cord. You know what? The Bible says that when they left, she put that cord out. Oh, she did it right then and there. She is taking no chances. I like that. She didn't say, well, I'll wait. It's going to be a while till they get back. No, she wanted her house protected. She wanted to be protected. She wanted to know. She believed in this one true God. And she had seen His work, and she knew it was it. And she had found what she needed. She found what she needed in her life, Chesley. That's right. Well, you know, the time came, and we go clear down into chapter 6, chapter 6. And then Joshua said to the men that had spied out the land, and here they'd gotten to Jericho, said, go into to that into her house, and I get all of the people that she has out of there. And said, as you have sworn to her. So that's what you're going to do. Go into her house, bring the woman and all she has out of there, so as you have sworn to her. So the young men, who were the spies, went in and brought out Rahab and her father and her mother and her families, brought them out. You know, Chesley, when the walls had come down, it was, oh, is this, you know what, if they stayed in there, you did. You know, Chesley, when she obeyed, she did the quick thing, she did the right thing. And it was a great thing how the Lord protected and guided and directed there. After all, and all of the rubble and all of this, to think her place was saved. But you know, Chesley, that's what happened when you had faith and trust in God. What if she had said, I don't believe it? You know, something else, they could have said, she's a bad woman and she's got a bad reputation. They could have said, yeah, that she's a bad, we don't even want to deal with her. But you know, it's another thing that shows the Lord loves everybody. No matter who you are, he loves and he cares. And it's faith in him and you'll do the right thing. If we have faith and trust in him. And two, she reached out to her family. Oh, God has a family plan. He does. He has a family plan. You know, they were saved by the red rope. What if she had said, well, maybe it won't be today, and she didn't put it out? I'm going to put it out, but, you know, she didn't take any chance. No chances. She put it out then. The first time when they left, she put it out. That's what she did, Chesley, and how the Lord blessed her. Her statement of faith, as she said, when we heard it, I heard about all the things, the miracles God had done. She said, our hearts melted and no courage remained in any man any longer because of you. For the Lord your God, he is God in heaven above and on earth beneath. What a statement of faith. Chesley, that is my statement of faith. I believe in God, and I don't want, you know, some people say they're going to wait and live to God later, but Chesley, I know they do that, but you never know when it can come so quickly that you don't have time. And why wait? You know why? Don't wait, because it's wonderful to live to God. That's right. It's wonderful to live for God, to give him your life. Love him and serve, and reach out to others, your family and all of that. And Chesley, that is exactly it. Saved by the red rope. And Chesley, we are saved by that represented what we have. Jesus Christ died on the cross, and he shed his blood. He shed his red blood. He shed his red blood. Yes, so that was a sign. You know, that was significant. And so here she believed, put her faith and trust in God, and we put our faith and trust in what Jesus did for us. He died, he was raised from the dead, he rose from the dead, and he lives forever, and he's in heaven, and he's calling out to the Lord for us. And he's what they call, telling to take care of this. All right, and we have requests and all, and he takes them all to the Father, and together, he's working together for us. And right now, I'm working for you to understand that it's time to go to bed. Chesley, time to go to bed. Oh, you want to go to bed? No. I didn't say it was time for me to go to bed. It's your bedtime, so tell everybody goodbye. Then I'm not even sleepy, and I thought the night sing. Oh, no, there will be no more singing. Right now, you need to go to bed, tell everybody goodbye, and you'll see them next time. I hate to go to bed, that I don't want to. Chesley, what do we say? You're kind of fussing, Chesley. That's not a good example. No, it's not. I should be nice. Yes, you should be nice, and you should just go ahead and go to bed. Chesley, last week, I get to stay in. Well, I was talking to Dr. Rose, and she told me she heard you last week. Oh, yeah, well, hi, Dr. Rose. What is she doctoring? Well, Chesley, she's called a chiropractor. What's a tractor? Chesley, it's a chiropractor. They are mechanical doctors. Oh, she's going to do some mechanicing on me? No, Chesley, it's not that. It's like on your spine, a lot, most of the time it's your spine. Another place, they do wonderful things for people. Do you know that? I surely do, because after our car accident, the Lord wonderfully blessed me to make sure that I got to Dr. Rose, and she helped me, so I definitely believe in chiropractors. And so maybe she can help me. Chesley, you don't have a spine. I had that stick you had in here, you're turning. Well, I know, Chesley, but that's not the same thing. But we do appreciate Dr. Rose listening. I sure do, and that wink is to her. Oh, the wink was for her. Well, she will love that. Right now, you go to bed. Tell everybody you'll see them next week. I love you, and I'll see you next week. And I don't like to go to bed, then I'm not supposed to fuss. That's right. You're not supposed to fuss. Until next week, we love you, and we'll see you Sunday afternoon next week. Love you.